Okay, everybody, it is me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Thursday, March 23rd, 2023. Where to start? How about this? Most of you who follow my work know that I'm a macro guy. I like to look at the bigger picture. If you recall, maybe 6 months ago, I was talking about these unemployment claims coming in, a couple of 100,000 every week. Now today we got this new report here, which shows that the U.S. economy lost 191,000 jobs last week. Now, to put that into a bigger perspective here, we're talking about on average over the last many months here, the U.S. economy has lost roughly 800,000 jobs per month. It seems a little less dramatic when you talk about this on a weekly basis. Now, again, roughly 6 months ago, I said we were going to see hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of jobs get lost every month. And I think actually I underestimated where we are here. Soon this is going to be a million jobs per month being lost here. What do we know is going on here? Again, it's fakery, it's distractions, it's deceptions, it's look here, don't look over there. As central banks, tighten up their credit cycle, if you want to call it that. What am I referring to? What central banks have been doing here is really kind of very devious, okay? So we have an economy that is in free fall around the world. I want to put this into perspective for you. And this phenomenon, again, is it's not getting any better, especially with rising inflation. The stunning admission that we got out of Powell's mouth, whatever, it's not human, him, yesterday, he admitted that people are earning less money. Meanwhile, inflation continues to rise. And this is no surprise. All right, look, this is called real wages, what people are actually taking home, earning based against rising inflation, which continues to go higher. And, no matter what central banks are doing here, we heard from the Bank of England. Okay, they just raised rates 25 basis points. Yesterday, it was the Fed 25 basis points. Then it was the European Central Bank 50 basis points. It's not doing a damn thing. And I want to know, seriously, when people are going to wake up that this lie keeps getting perpetuated here by the mainstream propaganda ministries who are saying, oh yeah, the Fed, central banks, they're fighting inflation. They're in the fight of their lives here. They're not fighting for a damn thing. All they're doing is tightening up available credit to small businesses. And of course, banks, the regional banks here are getting hit pretty good here because of this credit tightening cycle. Meanwhile, go look at the Fed's balance sheet today. Again, Federal Reserve's own website, you can look at their balance sheet trends. It's gone up even more. We had $300 billion pumped into the system on the public balance sheet, not the off balance sheet where you're not allowed to see. The public balance sheet is allowing you and me to see that just in the last week, we're at like 400 billion now. Okay, this is not going to stop. But again, the banking system is great according to Powell, according to Yellen. Oh, it's completely liquefied, very liquid. Meanwhile, how can that possibly be true? Meanwhile, they're pumping hundreds of billions, soon to be a trillion. Let me explain this to you in case you don't know. All right. Give it a month or less. This number is going to be in the trillions, okay, that the Fed's pumping into the banking system. Think of what they're doing, people. I've been talking about this a lot lately. It's a zombie system. It's a dead system. We're propping up a dead system. And why are they doing that? What's really behind the propping up of the zombie system? It's all about, right now, how they're going to be consolidating the entire banking system into fewer and fewer institutions. There are runs going on with regards to the regional banks, and we're going to see more of that too moving forward. And then, of course, they're going to be chopped up, taken over. and their assets are going to be acquired for nothing, for pennies on the dollar as we move forward here. So anyway, let's just put a perspective on what's happening. Again, roughly on average, every month, the U.S. economy is losing 800,000 jobs. You see, that number sounds pretty big, but you're not allowed to know these things. They think you're too stupid to do a little basic math here. Oh yeah, and continuing claims are rising. But again, you're going to be sold the lie, the charade by presidents that have not one functioning brain cell. I'm talking about Bidenstein right now, and our politicians and Federal Reserve presidents who think you can't just add. They believe our economy, and they're trying to sell you the lie that our economy is strong. No, it is not strong. It couldn't be worse off right now. And there is no connection at all, as you well realize, between the stock market and the economy. The gap between economy and market is going to continue to get wider here. I want to bring something else to your attention here. So we're hearing a lot lately from Michael Burry, who had said we're going to get an imminent crash in this market. Hasn't happened yet. Okay, but he's warning us again here, and this is a fact. Okay, what the man is saying right now is true. That the banking sector, including some of the bigger institutions, they're in a lot of trouble. I think this is pretty evident to every single one of us here. If you've been following this blog, I've been explaining to you for at least 8 months. No deposits, no loans, no deals, okay? And this phenomenon is not just these smaller regional banks. They're the ones that, of course, who would get hurt first, but it's the major institutions as well. And, look, I think really we're at a moment of truth here, or a precipice where we're going to start to see some really interesting things go on here with the consolidation of the banking system, the financial system, as the groundwork is laid out for the central bank digital currencies, which are really where this is all leading to. Anyway, so that's where we stand with regard to that. Let's look over at this market. Yesterday, this market took a pretty big hit. We'll see what happens this morning. Doesn't look too promising here. You got stock futures, a little higher, pointing towards a higher open. Trading doesn't start for roughly 31 minutes. Actually, hold on a minute. My nose is running. So we got this issue again. It's not really, look, so we got this issue with the market selling off yesterday. Stock futures a little higher right now. You got Bitcoin still hovering around 28,000, a little lower than that. Gold and silver catching a bid this morning. Crude oil under a little bit of pressure. Relative strength of the dollar a little lower. 10-year yield higher. MMRI slightly higher still. The MMRI remains in a high risk zone. And this could go either way depending on, again, what central banks do. They're buying it all. Central banks continue to buy it all. They're pumping the system full of debt. The Fed is funneling dollars around the world. Central banks are swapping their currencies right now. The European Central Bank is sending euros to the Fed. The Fed is sending dollars to the European Central Bank and every single other central bank. Again, I've been explaining to you for I don't know how long, before anybody else, I believe, that the Fed has been pumping dollars into other central banks around the world who are buying assets with dollars. It's amazing. It's an incredible phenomenon. Before I forget, I want to do a couple of shout outs here. I got this. This is amazing here. This is a 2-ounce piece of silver that I got here from Dave Swartwood. Sorry. Look at that. Is that amazing? I love this thing. It's beautiful, beautiful piece. Thank you. I also got this too. This is an interesting book. I just started to browse through this here. Art of Liberty Foundation sent me this. Look at that title. I think that's about right. Pretty fascinating stuff here. Oh, man. Allergies are murder. Anyway, that's pretty much where we stand here, people. I don't think anything here that's going on is a shock or a surprise. But what I can tell you is pretty much in our face. You haven't seen anything yet, and I mean that with all I got. This thing is just going to get worse, and the pressure on the people of the middle class is about to rise exponentially as they create this new two-tier society, this new feudal system that I've been warning about for like a freaking decade. Anyway, people, that's all. I will see all of you later for my live stream, 1:05 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right? Please share the video. Thumbs up is always appreciated. Comment, of course. See you later.